I guarantee you it's going to be experience of a lifetime to travel with Project C.U.R.E.
Medical volunteering organizations gives us a great chance to rekindle our love for medicine and find new and unique ways to use our skills to benefit others. The organization I'm going to highlight today is called Project C.U.R.E. I love this organization. It is so great, it has an incredible mission, and it really helps the people that it serves.
So in short, what we do is we take the excess supplies, which are here in the US, and we ensure that those that can be used are being placed in the effective, most appropriate places around the world and get those in the hands of the medical practitioners who need them.
There are so many great ways to be involved, from sourcing the equipment and supplies to sorting them, packing the containers, working medical clinics in the developing world, taking supplies overseas, even if you're not traveling with Project C.U.R.E., and of course helping financially. I hope that you would stay tuned and learn about this fantastic organization and how you can get involved.
Hello! Welcome.
Hi, I'm Janet Thomason. I'm with Project C.U.R.E. My position is the Director of National Procurement. I help source the equipment that goes into our 7 warehouses across the U.S. Phoenix, Chicago, Denver, which is our international headquarters, Kansas City, Missouri, Houston, West Grove, Pennsylvania, and Nashville, Tennessee. Project C.U.R.E. distributes 2 types of equipment. We distribute the hard stuff, the big durable stuff, the medical equipment that typically plugs in, ultrasounds, beds, gurneys, EKG machines, but also we go down into things as small as Band-Aids, syringes, and gauze. So pretty much everything you need to run a medical facility you can find here at Project C.U.R.E., with the exception, of course, of the medications and the talented professionals who go with them. We go to everyone from the manufacturers, to the hospitals, to physicians' offices, and even to individuals to say, what do you have that you're no longer in need of that might help us fill the need for all these variety of locations? So on a manufacturer standpoint, they give us some new things every year. They may give us things that they've retired and changed or upgraded. On the hospital level, they're always changing out, upgrading, changing services, changing manufacturers, and those things can come to us. They may be end of life in terms of that hospital, but they're not end of life in terms of their usable life. Physicians' offices are another great source of equipment. We need scales, we need microscopes, we need small autoclaves, all those things that come out of physicians' offices as they retire, as they upgrade, as they change, can really be system strengthening in the communities that we serve. And then there's individuals with home care items as well. And as you go back across all those areas, we have the myriad of consumable items that are still in date, but for some reason no longer being used. Perhaps it happens in surgery, because in surgery they tend to use big kits, and then they may not need everything in that kit. Some of those items are still sterile and still usable. Those can come back to Project C.U.R.E. Most of our countries right now are only accepting in-date product, but there are a few items that can also be accepted when they're out of date. So we always ask that our partners or our donor partners come to us and say, hey, here's what we have, can you utilize it? And then we try to do our best to make the match and bring that into our facilities. If you're in a private practice and you know of something being available, we'd love to talk to you about what you have and how we can put that to work in a country in need. If you're in a hospital and you know that something is coming up, for example, you're upgrading to a different type of infant warmer, or the entire hospital is getting new mammography equipment, whatever it is, it helps to bring that up to us so we can then go to the powers that be in the hospital, talk to the people who can control the disposition of assets, explain to them Project C.U.R.E. and the good work that we do, and hopefully encourage them to make those donations. Project C.U.R.E. is a really unique organization. We operate on a 2.9% administrative overhead, and that doesn't mean a lot to people who are not looking into the financial side of nonprofits, but what it means is that out of every dollar donated to Project C.U.R.E., 97 cents of it goes to the actual mission and the work that we do. One of the ways that we achieve that is through running a very lean staff. Across those 7 facilities we talked about earlier, we have only 34 paid staff members, and then we have 27,000 amazing volunteers. So nothing happens at Project C.U.R.E. without the help of a volunteer. There's jobs for everybody. When we look at PAs, for example, or nurse practitioners or nurses, all that level of expertise and history that you have in the field, everything you know about the things you touch every day is helpful at Project C.U.R.E. We need that support when it comes down to sorting the items that come to us and making sure they go in the right boxes, that they're packed the right way, that if product A needs something else to go with it to make it effective, we've boxed it properly. You don't need to have medical experience to volunteer at Project C.U.R.E. We can take kids as young as 14, but when we have that expertise, when we have those healthcare professionals, they're so valuable at ensuring the quality of what we send out, matching the needs of the people that we serve. So we'd love to have anyone who's anywhere near any of those 7 centers look us up online at www.projectcure.org, and you'll see all the information and what it takes to volunteer at Project C.U.R.E. Typically, we ask that people come for a 2 to 2.5 hour volunteer shift. We have those in the morning, we have those in the afternoon. Some facilities have them in evenings, on weekends. But when you have that talent and you talk to the director of operations at any of those facilities, they're going to love to meet you and love to have you come and participate with us. So a 40-foot cargo container is loaded at Project C.U.R.E. with about 600 pieces of medical equipment and supplies. A piece can be a bed, a gurney, an ultrasound, or a box of syringes or a box of gauze. Even though the inventory in our 50,000 square foot warehouses is all on pallets, we take everything off those pallets and we load that container like a ginormous game of Tetris, top to bottom, left to right. It's our only suitcase, so to speak, on that shipment, and we're going to get as much on there as we can. $350,000 is the average gift in kind value of that container. We don't worry as much what's the dollar value on the container, we worry about the functional value. Project C.U.R.E. has several kinds of clinic trips available. Some of them are very medical. A lot of those are geared towards primary medicine. In some cases, we go into a community where they just don't have regular healthcare coverage. So we'll go in and do a general screening with the community. That's where any of the healthcare positions, whether it's a physician, PA, a nurse practitioner, a nurse, any of them are great in that screening of patients and doing some overview and caring for patients. We also have less technical opportunities. We call those Cure Cares trips. They also follow a container, and you might be building shelves or putting things away or creating an organization system for them. One of my favorite stories is about a nurse who came on a Cure Cares trip, and she said, wow, this is a lot of stuff, a 40-foot cargo container full of all these things. How will they know where anything is? And she started and drew a map and made a whole schematic for the room. And wouldn't you know it, that in the middle of them still putting everything away, there was an urgent case that came in. And as a result of her map, they were able to go instantly right to that item they needed. Caring health professionals that have the desire to serve on a clinic trip, you're going to make a difference. You're going to see so many patients. You're going to get to meet communities of other healthcare providers and see what means so much to them. We also do follow-up trips with biomeds, nurses, PAs. Anybody can do that leadership role so that you're teaching people how to use the equipment that we send to them, because you can't assume that they've ever seen something like that particular piece of equipment, something as simple as a vital sign monitor. If you don't know how to use it, someone has to teach you. You know, we all have this vision of where we were going to travel to in our lifetime, right? And if I look back to my life, I would have not expected that I would travel to some of the places I will go with Project C.U.R.E., but they're the most exciting places I've been to, and meeting totally different people, seeing amazing cultures and fabulous people, and the smiles of beautiful children all over the world. So if you want something different and you want a challenge, it's stretching your comfort zone in many cases. Some people are ready to jump into the international market and they're going, yes, put me on a plane, I'm ready to go. Others of us, it takes a little longer, but I guarantee you it's going to be an experience of a lifetime to travel with Project C.U.R.E. Project C.U.R.E has been to 138 countries around the globe. We do a lot of work in Africa, but we're also in the Ukraine and in Vietnam and India and all over the place in South and Central America, in Mexico. It just depends on any given time who comes to us, what the need is, what the ability to get supplies in at that particular moment in time. One thing that Project C.U.R.E does very, very well is the logistics. We've been doing this for 34 years, and we specialize on what it takes to get into a country. So I think that's one of the most important things to mention about Project C.U.R.E is that if you look at our policy about doing an assessment, to never go in without an invitation, without having boots on the ground, without meeting you, looking you square in the eye and making sure that that stuff's going to get to the people who need it, that it's going to fit through the door, that it's going to plug in when it needs to, that we have a contingency plan when there's no electricity. All of those things need to be reviewed. It doesn't help to send something to someone that they have no ability to use. Project C.U.R.E operates very lean, so it is a participatory funding program when you're coming in country. We keep those costs as low as possible. So the first thing you would determine if you decided, hey, I'd really like to travel with Project C.U.R.E, is you'd go to the website and look at our clinic site and see where the upcoming trips are. And you might decide where you want to go based on where you want to go. It's either I want to go to the Philippines, or I'm looking at sub-Saharan Africa, or I'm looking at the Ukraine. So different parts of the world, your first thing would be, where am I interested in going? But the second thing is always financial. Where can you afford to pay the air travel to? And then there's what we call the in-country fee. And the in-country fee includes all your in-country travel, all your meals, all your hotels, everything is covered in that fee. That's pretty much all you need. A little bit of spending money for the fabulous souvenirs you might find, but you're going to be able to say, I went, I served, and I did this and I did that, and then we met the people in the village and we went to the shops and saw things. So you get to see the culture not only of the healthcare community, but the culture of the community in general.
Sometimes it's hard to know if a charity is actually doing anything or using their resources wisely. With Project C.U.R.E, you don't have to worry about that. Charity Navigator rates them as exceptional, giving them a score of 91 out of 100 for financial responsibility, accountability, and transparency. So this is definitely an organization that you can feel good about, whether you're volunteering your time or donating your money.
It ranges. Yeah, I mean, it can be one thing, it can be another. They are usually a very basic hotel, sometimes a special facility similar to a dormitory. It really depends on what's available. They are never glamorous, but they are always going to be clean and comfortable. You don't have to worry about packing a lot. Typically, people will go with a backpack or one small carry-on, and sometimes we will ask you to carry your second bag that's covered under the air, maybe supplies that you bring with you. A healthcare professional needs scrubs. A general volunteer needs casual and generally cool clothing. It's pretty basic. We typically also partner with an in-country facility. So you're going to have translators, you're going to have nurses there with you. In many cases, they're alongside you to train. So that's a shared experience. Sometimes you're not quite ready just yet to start traveling, but you want to build your arsenal of what tools will make you ready to have a great experience when you do ultimately travel, or different opportunities to travel. And one of those we have is Helping Mothers Survive and Helping Babies Breathe program. At different points in time, any of our centers will offer training programs, and then you can train to be certified in something like infant resuscitation. And you might say, oh, I'm already a NICU nurse. Yes, but the situation changes a little culturally, and it changes given what tools you'll have to use in different parts of the world. So those are programs that are also available, and you can watch for those opportunities at projectcure.org as well. And again, we're hoping to get back to those. One of the ones we're working on right now is going to be a cervical cancer screening program, which I think is going to be really exciting. So a lot of people travel and they don't travel with Project C.U.R.E. They have mission trips, or physician-specific trips. It's not uncommon to find healthcare professionals who say, I travel with my faith-based institution, or I travel with this NGO, and we need supplies. So we have something we call a C.U.R.E kit. A C.U.R.E kit is 50 pounds of checkable luggage. We provide a manifest, and we also provide what we call a declaration of donation, so that when you take that 50 pounds into the country, they'll acknowledge that that is a nonprofit donation and not charge you customs charges on it. So you can find the list of what comes standard in a C.U.R.E kit on our website, or if you give us enough notice, we usually say please 3 to 4 weeks, we can build a custom C.U.R.E kit for you. And all that we ask for that kit is a $200 donation, and that donation includes the transit to you. Another kit that we have is called the Kits for Kids, and Kits for Kids are our health and hygiene packs. We can sometimes send those with your traveling program. We can ask that you pack them sometimes, and we can send them on our programs. They're a way to get a little pharmacy bag to the families so that hopefully they can do some general care and keep those supplies that they need at home. And the last kit that we offer currently are the Striker kits. Striker kits are great for orthopedists. They're also great for specialists including spine, neuro, and ENT, where you can get a refurbished Striker drill. So that's a tremendous program funded by Striker that we monitor, and it's always great to see the physicians getting the tools that they need to do the job that they're committed to doing as volunteers. There's 3 pillars with Project C.U.R.E. One is the donations of the product, one is the donation of your time and talent, and the other would be financial donations. We always appreciate support. All of those donations make a significant difference.
I'll leave the link to Project C.U.R.E.'s website in the description below. Get involved and support their mission. It's a great one, and you can really help make a difference around the world. If you know of a great volunteer organization that you would like to have spotlighted, please put that below in the comment section. That's it for today. Stay sane out there, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.